marks the start of Child Passenger Safety Week, and this week's Know the Law segment. Tom Sinas here to talk about what you need to know to make sure your child is safe inside the car. It's an important subject.
It's an important subject all throughout the year, and obviously this is the week where we make sure that we're trying to get it right. Let's start with the hardest part often is actually installing the car seat. These things are not easy to install, and we know from the data that unfortunately 50% of all car seats are not properly installed by parents, which of course doesn't mean that the parents intended to do it.
They're not hooked, they're not belted in correctly, or they're not tightened in enough?
That's right.
What's the problems generally?
That's right. It's the mechanism of connecting the car seat to the car. And every car seat is different, and every car has different braces within the back seat to connect the actual car seat to it. And so what happens is that people don't quite spend the time to, say, read the manual or check their work to make sure that that car seat is properly installed and that it isn't shifting. And when that happens, then our children are more at risk for injury, and our little ones are more likely to be injured if they're in a car accident. So the first step is, have you installed it correctly? Right. Then the next step is, well, who needs to be in those car seats?
Got to consider the age.
That's right. You first start with the age, and let's start with our littlest ones. The children who are under the age of 2 must be in a car seat, which is different than a booster seat. And that car seat, of course, needs to be in the back seat of the car. And if the child is under the age of 2, the child needs to be facing to the rear of the car. Okay. All right? Now, what happens when you have a 3 or 4-year-old? They still have to be in the car seat, but they can now switch and be front-facing, but they haven't switched yet to a booster seat. I think where a lot of parents get confused is what happens when you get out of the car seat, right? Now the car seat's out of the car, what do you put them in? How long do you put them in there? Well, now you're at the booster seat. And here's where Michigan law can be a little bit confusing. It's the rule of 8 years old or 4 feet 9 inches tall. Okay, one or the other. If your child is 8 years old, or if the child is 4 foot 9 inches tall or taller, they can be out of a booster seat. But when they're in that booster seat, remember, they also have to be in the back of the car. No booster seats in the front of the car. I think, though, if you're on the fence, it's always a good idea to keep your child in the booster seat.
You're on the side of caution.
That's right, because you remember the mechanism to keep your child safe if there isn't a booster seat is just that safety belt.
Got to make sure that they line up with the cross belt and everything else.
That's right, important. And the safety belt is built for an adult frame. And so if your child is small, your child's frame might not be accommodated for that seat belt without a booster seat.
Well, some good things to think about, and if somebody has a legal issue they want to call you about, you have offices all over the state.
Anytime, yep. In Grand Rapids, 616-301-3333. You can find us online at www.sinasdramis.com or shoot us an email, info@sinasdramis.com.
All right, Tom. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Christian.